Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. The inventory of homes for sale in New Hampshire in May is down a whopping 40%, condos down 20%. And the demand, though, is spiking. So the question is, what's going on? I will ask that of my guests in a minute. But first, let's go to this graphic of a quote from Bob Sanders, who's a senior reporter for New Hampshire Business Review. And he says, homes are so scarce that if none came on the market, there would be none for sale in less than 2 months. And here's what he's talking about. Look at this graphic. This is a New Hampshire month supply of inventory, and it shows single family homes on the left in the gold bars, and you can see the 40% drop. And then on the right side, the condos in the blue bars, and you can see the 20% drop. With me to talk about this, what's going on, is Lynette Rogers, who is the owner of Homescapes of New England and a president of the New Hampshire Home Builders Association, most recent president, and John Stabile, the founder and chair of the Stabile Companies, a well-known home building business in New Hampshire and New England. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Morning.
What's going on with home building and this lack of inventory in New Hampshire? Something I know has been an issue for years, but seems to be getting worse. Lynette?
My side of my business, I do a lot more on the remodeling end of things, and we've definitely seen an increase with people needing improvements in their homes, and especially during this pandemic time, people are home. People are noticing more going on in their home, probably now more than ever. They're spending a lot more time there, and they're needing to, if they're going to stay put, because there really isn't a lot of inventory to go anywhere, so they're deciding to stay and improve their own home that they are in currently. Good
point. John, same question.
Well, inventory, that's the key. And we're lacking inventory because the recession of 2000, this last recession, we built half the amount of houses in the state of New Hampshire that we would in a normal year. A normal year, we'll build 6,000 to 7,000 houses. The past years, we've been building about 3,000. So there's a housing shortage to start with.
And this is important because of workforce, of course. If you don't have housing, you don't have workforce.
If you don't have workforce, you don't have business profits tax. You don't have a number of things that this state runs on.
Yeah, I have two contacts I've been talking to or communicating with in the past few days about the inventory. And one of them is a contractor on the seacoast, told me that these $300,000 to $400,000 homes are going so fast. And one of the reasons that he found out from the realtor he's working with is that people are moving into New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont from cities around the Northeast because of COVID. And then I talked to a marketing executive, a friend of mine, who said he has a mover, a guy in the moving business who has his business up 40% this year already. And the main reason is people moving here in New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont from cities because of COVID. Are there either one of you seen that?
I'm seeing more of the people coming up from Boston that are skipping over northern Massachusetts and coming right up over the line in Londonderry, Litchfield, and towns like that, where they want to live in the country, and they're all saying the same thing. They're getting out of the city.
Right, they're getting out of the city.
People just want to have some space. You know, New Hampshire lends itself just by its nature to have more space around you compared to the cities that are down to our south in Massachusetts.
I would think that this trend, it's a trend, would cause home builders to start building more homes or condos or apartments to take in that influx. Do you see that's possible, John?
Well, Fred, the thing is that we lost a lot of our builders in the last recession. Item number one. Item number two, the lending institutions have all new rules and regulation. They're not going out 5 and 6 years on a development. They would like to see more equity in the developments. So what we really have happening is artificial constraints taking down the number of units that can be built. So we have a supply and demand problem.
Yeah, we certainly do. Lynette, you got the final word for the next few seconds.
I would say the biggest issue is a lot of kids are not getting into the trades. We've talked about it a lot when a lot of people for housing here and building, we don't have the people to actually know how to build these houses and all the different trades from, framers to electricians to plumbers, et cetera. We have a shortage of that in our state, and we have seen it for a while, and really need to encourage our kids to get into schools and the trade schools so that they can get to work right away.
Lynette Rogers of Homescapes of New England, thank you. John Stabile of the Stabile Companies, thank you both for some very insightful comment. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.